I'm on. Hey, welcome everybody to the doctor's office. I am the doctor, Jesse Thomas. Uh, some of you may be familiar with my work as a host of MMA Talk Radio presented by Clever.tv. Some of you may just be Twitter followers or Facebookers who are like, hey, I know that guy, so I thought I'd go to his YouTube channel and watch it. Anyway, Uh, so this is me now, and this is me talking to you. And I just thought I'd bring up a couple topics that have kind of been working on me lately as far as MMA goes. And I wasn't quite sure how I was even going to do this first video. And I'll be honest with you, I've actually done this video like 5 times and has not come out right. So um, number 6 is the charm, I guess, apparently. So here we go. UFC 129 just happened, and it was pretty much amazing. And I think that anybody that watched it can agree with me on that. Um, uh, but throughout that course, the course of the event, you've seen a lot of finishes, a lot of brilliant fights, and then to make matters worse, going into this, everybody kind of had a feeling that Jake Shields' GSP might be, you know, like is a snooze fest, and to some degree, a lot of people still think that it was. Um, Before GSP Shields, you have Aldo and Hominick, who fought like mad dogs for 5 rounds, seeing Jose Aldo go the distance and defend his title, which I think is very impressive, even more impressive than a first round knockout victory. And what's even more impressive than Jose Aldo, which is amazing because he defended his title against a very game opponent, was the fact that Mark Hominick actually in the 5th round took that 5th round and took Jose Aldo to the ground and was pounding on him for probably like the last 3 minutes or so of the fight. Pretty amazing. Canada, you throw on one hell of a show. I just want you guys to know that you Canadians, you guys know how to rock it out with your MMA. Um, and before that, the Lyoto Machida pretty much ends the career of Randy Couture, which it was coming to an end anyway. Just a lot of people speculated as far as, well, if Randy was to get a big victory against Lyoto, like a TKO or something, or even a unanimous decision where, you just have to say, hey, Couture dominated this entire fight. What would Randy do? Well, I mean, even I thought that, and if you listen to the last show of MMA Talk Radio, which you can find on iTunes under the Doctor 81, by the way, um, I even said if Randy gets a big win, how far is he gonna take this retirement thing? You know, if he gets a TKO victory, and he knocks Lyoto around. We all know that didn't happen. We all know that Uh, Steven Seagal apparently trains the best of the best now, and and if he wanted to, uh, probably, you know, who knows? Who knows if Steven Seagal wants to do MMA, coaching and all that, maybe Seagal's the next, Greg Jackson esque kind of coach, except for teaching your guys to jab, 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 takedown, takedown, takedown. He's gonna teach you to go out there and throw crazy, spinning kicks and twirling Superman punches and shooting laser beams out of your eyes and stuff to defeat your opponents. Who knows? But yeah, so Steven Seagal teaches Leo Machida apparently, or trains him in the style, and Machida performs a crane kick. Everybody knows this, the Karate Kid thing, the whole oh, and then the kick, and then anyway. So Couture goes down, loses a tooth, and Machida gets a big win and goes immediately back into contention for the light heavyweight title. My thought on that. Um, but what's really been bugging me over the last few days is this whole GSP talk. Everybody keeps talking like GSP is like this bum. He can't finish. He can't finish. He has fought in the best of the best for years now. and he has beaten them all dominantly. These decisions aren't, they're not splits, and they're not decisions where, even though it is left in the judge's hands, the judges have nothing they can do more than give him the victory because he earned it. He has been beating guys. Koscheck, Koscheck 2 in particular. Uh, a lot of people, continually talking about how, oh, GSP can't finish fights. George St. Pierre is not a finisher. He's boring. Did you not see Koscheck's face? Did you not see that, people? Did that thing, did that, his eyeball poking out and everything, did that not do anything for you? I thought the American fans were all in the blood and guts and broken bones. You know, Dan Hardy. I think St. Pierre took it easy on his arm. Because honestly, I think St. Pierre, if he was a Gracie, any Gracie would have taken Dan Hardy's arm, and if he wouldn't have tapped, he would have broke it. Now people say, "Oh, he was doing it wrong. The armbar was wrong." I think that armbar looked pretty good, enough to make someone tap. Okay, so I'm just saying that, Matt Serra um, possibly was the last guy that GSP actually finished with knees and strikes on the ground. I can't exactly remember. I'm not good with dates. I can barely remember what I did yesterday. Uh, but the whole fact of the matter is that people get off GSP's back. Okay, George St. Pierre is a brilliant fighter, and for those of you who can't see that, please just look the other way. Then, I mean, you're obviously not looking in the right direction in the first place. So look somewhere else. Go, go be someone else's fan. Go, I don't know. Go critique someone else, but not a guy who's number one, number two pound for pound fighter in the world. Because that's exactly what George St. Pierre is. Easily number two, and challenges number one, which would be Anderson. And Anderson, for a while there, wasn't finishing either, and people got on his back. How can you do this? How can you get on a guy's back just because he can't finish? And you know what? Jake Shields, as I mentioned once, it was only finished one time in his career. I posted that all over Twitter. Jake Shields was finished once. It was his third fight, his third professional fight. He was finished by strikes. Since then, he's either won by submission or TKO, or he's won by decision, and his losses have all been by decision. So, I mean, and again, Jake Shields is one of the best fighters in the world. And George St. Pierre went 5 rounds, making him look stupid with one eye. So Ceasar Gracie went and said, "Oh, Shields surprised GSP with his strikes and his ability to get in and out." I think his ability to get in and out was a lot easier when George St. Pierre was operating on half eyesight there. So Ceasar Gracie, I know that you like to pump fighters and get them. I think Caesar, that the only fighter that you really have in your camp that I can appreciate and respect, that is a title holder, well, would be Gilbert. Gil's amazing. Nick Diaz, I disagree with. I do respect him as a fighter, but not as a person. And some people are going to get mad about that. But same thing goes for media guys. There's media guys out there, and some of you who are going to watch the video will know who I'm talking about. All they sit there and do is curse, and they have these tyrants or these tirades of blasphemy pretty much towards everybody and anything that doesn't agree with what they say. If you write a comment on this post and tell me, well, I think Ceasar Gracie is totally right. I think Shields did surprise GSP. I think Shields is the greatest thing ever. I think whatever. Green really is red and red is really blue. It's my choice to disagree with you and yours to disagree with me. And that's the way that things should be. There should be no, well, I'm going to come back at you because you said this about one of my guys. It's just not like that, and I don't think it should be, especially in the media. But the Ceasar Gracie camp down there, They got some things mixed up somewhere. They're a little bit too gangsterish, a little bit too thuggish for me. I do like watching Nick fight, but I don't like hearing him open his mouth. Uh, Gil Melendez is amazing. But going back to the GSP thing, honestly, people, if you have nothing better to do than to critique a guy who has done nothing but win his entire career, then you are way too bored and should not be writing or saying anything at all. You should pick up a hobby, you know, model trains or something. Do something to fill your time. That void needs to be filled. So, but there's that. Um, I could go into politics and talk a little bit about everybody's opinions that's going around about uh, Barack Obama and all that kind of stuff, but I don't feel like now is the time and place for me to do that. Uh, Really, overall, I just wanted to get this first video out so people could hear me a little bit and maybe get a little bit of what my opinion is. Um, my overall opinion, uh, my uh, my overall opinion for right now for this video is if they're winning, uh, the fans love you, and if you're losing, the fans hate you. So where does that put a guy like George St Pierre, who is winning but is still hated on? I want to hear responses and I want feedback on that question. So for those of you who are listening and will listen, please feel free and I will say this: if you get nasty and you start calling out names and calling out people, yeah, I'm gonna erase your comment because I'm just not down with that. But if you're a true fan of the sport and you have a true answer, then go ahead, feel free. Contact me on Twitter at MMA Talk Radio or on Facebook under Jesse Thomas. Folks, this has been a crazy, odd little 12 and a half minutes or so, but I hope you enjoy and you've learned a tiny bit about me, if not nothing. Either way, we'll see you soon.